Hey, how you doing? What's going on, baby? Absolutely back at it. We are back. Me and your podcast dad, my podcast stepdad, Aiden, are back here with you on a beautiful day in Nashville, and we are here reporting, coming at you. Reporting on me, I suppose. What's going on in my world? What's going on in our world, our shared world, baby? I hope this reaches you well. It reaches me well. I'm in one of those just kind of emotionally dragged out spots where you feel really alive, honestly. We'll get into all the details right now, but it's yeah, you get to a point in life where things are good. I think a couple episodes ago I was saying things are so good. Things are so good, and they still are. I'm not complaining.
You said in one day they won't be.
Yeah, exactly. And I said in one day they won't be, and then those days come swiftly. And sometimes it's in your control if those days continue. Sometimes it's not in your control if those bad days come. But yeah, no, I'm living good right now. I'm just tired. I'm just tired for a lot of good reasons. Been moving. We finally made the move, man. We've been down in Nashville here for like 9 or 10 months, and all of our stuff's been up in Cincinnati. We've been living in furnished places, which is just a delightful service to just roll up to the city with, a bunch of your clothes and then you're chilling. But yeah, we got all our stuff down here. We're slowly starting to move in, make our own little Tennessee cocoon. It's nice. A truly one of the greatest feats of my life I pulled off this past weekend. Zachy T and I went down, headlined the Tulsa Looney Bin. Shout out Mason Thatcher. Gosh, dang, dude, we ripped. We really did. It was one of those fun weekends where it's like, we probably didn't sell but a dozen tickets between the two of us for people to like come and see us. And maybe even then, I might be exaggerating that by literally 120%. We might not have sold one ticket. But it's like killing in obscurity is pretty sick. Everyone left there being like, dang, Zach Townsend and Lee Kimbrell, those are some funny dudes. We ripped. It was great. Went down there, played some golf, man. We drove down there on Thursday so we could wake up, play golf on Friday, and we did, and it was great. It was fun. Then we dropped some coin on Saturday, played at like a nicer course, and that was really good. So Saturday morning, I woke up at 9:15 to go play. I believe it was called Forest Ridge Golf Course. It was great. Shout out Forest Ridge. Thanks for the love. Let us play for free next time because I just said that on my podcast. Wake up at 9:15 Saturday morning. Go play golf. Come back to the hotel. I'm not a nap guy. Not really. I think Zachy T took a nap. I went on a walk. I was chilling. Okay, I took a shower. Go to the club. Show at 7. Show at 9:30. Hang out. Crush 2 shows. Very fun time. Had a lady in the front row during the early show who might have had Tourette's. I don't know. It was fantastic. I mean, she laughed the whole time. She laughed the whole time. She was laughing at a joke I told at 4 minutes. She was laughing at that joke and the joke I told at 15. It was crazy. Enough to the point where I did have to address her and talk to her. Like, lady, you sound like a trick-or-treater just walked by you and activated you on Halloween. A crazy laugh in the front row. That was fun. I digress. 2 good shows. Probably roll out of the club at like 12:15. Go back to the hotel. Remember, I'm awake since 9:15 on Saturday morning. Go back to the hotel, pack everything up. Try to go to sleep, but I'm not going to sleep because I have a scheduled ride picking me up at the hotel at 3 a.m. 3 a.m., I get into the car, get dropped off at the airport at 3:35. Okay? Walk into the Tulsa airport. Dude, it was closed. I have no other way to say it. It wasn't open yet. The Tulsa airport, I walked in at 3:45. I had a flight at 5:30. I was trying to be responsible, It wasn't open. I walked up to TSA, and there was no one there, and there were big locks on the door, and all the lights were turned off. I was the first guy in line at TSA. I sat there for an hour. It was closed. The Tulsa airport was closed until like 4:30. I saw everybody slowly walking in. And then I was literally the first guy to go through TSA at Tulsa Airport. I walked in, first dude.
Suspicious.
Yeah, no doubt. I looked rearing to go. Even more suspicious, dude. So Zachy and I drove down there, and then Zach the champion drove back by himself, 8.5 hours, right? So we have all the camaraderie on the way down there, and then on the way back, he rips it back by himself. So shout out to my boy Zachy T. So he drove back with almost all of my stuff. I had a backpack with nothing in it. I had a backpack just so you said the word suspicious. I just didn't want to come across as so suspicious, just showing up first with nothing, putting nothing in the bucket but my shoes and wallet, just staring down the TSA guy. Don't take my glasses off. Yeah, first one in there. So Zach drove all my stuff back, and then I went through TSA first. Number one, went through. Nothing was open, like no coffee, nothing. It was very liminal, very surreal to just be in an airport. Like I got there before the pilots. It was awesome. So takeoff from Tulsa to Chicago, get off in Chicago Airport, which is the size of Nashville, and make my connector, Chicago to Cincinnati. So I get to Cincy at like 10:15. My bride picks me up. Drives me to the U-Haul place, get in a U-Haul, drive the U-Haul, ripping. At this point, I'm 25 hours. 25 hours, I just officially pulled an all-nighter. Take the U-Haul to our house in Cincinnati. Move.
Driving a U-Haul.
Driving a 24-foot truck. Driving a big...
God bless America.
God, dude, I'm about to go off on U-Haul. They are an incredible American institution. I mean, getting your hands on one is ludicrous. It's so hard. You call, and it's like a barbecue spot with a parking lot big enough that they got a side hustle. They got like 4 or 5 U-Hauls out back. They're like, yeah, we're a patio furniture store, also U-Hauls, because we have a gravel lot in our back. If you can finagle the actually getting your hands on a U-Haul truck, it is truly the most American thing. It is such a great service. A semi-truck. A semi-truck. Anna got it. They didn't even know I was driving it. They didn't get my driver's license. They didn't get my insurance. Dude, how crazy is that? On no sleep, just whipping a U-Haul truck. Drive it to my house in Cincinnati. Pack it. Shout out Gavin Ferkel and Caleb Nash. The dogs showed up. We packed it up less than 2 hours. A full truck. 2 beds. Headboard. Dresser. Kitchen table. A house. A house worth of stuff. And then by the time we got it all packed up, I was probably ripping 26, 27 hours, no sleep. Then I drove that U-Haul from Cincinnati to Nashville. Drove it to Nashville, dude, ripping on the interstate, just high on life, man. Simply must get it done because my bride has to be back the following morning because she's starting a new job and she had to be there at 7:45. So we're just ripping it, man. And stayed at a hotel on 6-1 and then moved in 6-2. Shout out to Sixth Man Movers, best money we've ever spent in our entire lives. 2 young men showed up at our house and emptied the truck in 47 minutes. They set a timer. So truly some beastly young men, and we did that. It was crazy. And shout out U-Haul. I really couldn't believe it. They didn't even know it was me. We pull up to return it in Cincinnati. It was so funny. We pull up to return it in Cincinnati, and the only reason that you knew this would be a U-Haul distributor is because there were a couple other U-Haul trucks sitting there. Other than that, it... very nondescript. I think they sold like plants and sandwiches and odds and ends. I don't really know what the store was, but you want to talk about some pressure. We pull up, Anna gets out of the car in front of me and she goes, hey, where do we put this? And then like 5 really old grizzled men all kind of stepped outside and just go, back it up there. So I had to back up a 24-foot U-Haul with like 5 old men and their ladies sitting there looking at me with their arms crossed, just mean mugging me. And I had to back it up into like a U-Haul shaped space. And I pulled it off, and I really have no idea how I pulled it off, but it felt good, man. Felt good. No mishaps with the U-Haul. Really just kind of nailed it. Felt good on that one. It really did. Oh, dude, okay. I've been trying to... This is something I wanted to talk about. I mean, I think I got to work on my posture. I think everyone kind of does. I'm always just hunched. I'm looking at my phone. I'm hunched. I'm driving. I'm so hunched when I'm driving. I turn into a lowercase c when I'm driving. And then even on this podcast, it's like, you know, I'm hunched over towards the mic. I'm coming at you because I love you, you know. But I've been working on my posture, and I've been trying to look at my phone less. And then in public, that just makes you look so weird. You know, looking at your phone less, obviously a good thing. But in a sea of people looking at their phone, like I was at the airport trying to work on my posture and not look at my phone. So at like 4:30 in the morning at Tulsa Airport, I'm sitting around, everyone's half asleep, not drinking coffee because nothing's open. And everyone's just tapped in on their phone, and I'm just sitting there like this. Just light as a feather, stiff as a board. Not looking at my phone, just looking at everyone else, keeping my back really straight, just trying. I don't know. I feel a hump. I feel a hump coming in my back, and I got to work on it, dude. I don't know. So that's the posture thing that I said I was going to talk about. And then I was reminded to talk about it when my back started hurting. Oh, God. We're back. That was so scary. Oh, man, if you're watching this, you just saw the panic on my face. It was so funny. Aiden is such a good producer. It was just one cord came out, and Aiden ran over there. I was like, oh, what happened? He's like, there's no way Lee's going to be able to figure out how to put that female part into, or the male part into a female part. Good looking out, podcast dad. I appreciate you.
We're here. We're back.
We're here and we're back. You could say we never left.
Yeah, like we never left.
It's like we never left. Don't call it a comeback, dude. Oh, man. Dude, my lady, her mom got her, like, not a 23andMe, but one of the other ones that you spit into a tube and send it through the mail, and they tell you, you know, your background or whatever, and it's pretty cool. But dude, the little sketchy part of my brain says absolutely not. I'm not giving them. I feel that. I'm not giving them my DNA, and it's just so weird. And it is fun and kind of exciting to get it, I guess. But like my Aunt Jolinda, she raw dogged it. She did it like back in the day. She went back through like all the old files and everything. And I've got to report back on my people up until like, you know, the late 1700s. And some of us were around before the America was even America, dude. We've been over here. Yeah, my bloodline has been over here. But I was reading this article, and they are like the DNA profiles that are coming in through these like 23andMe type things are being used, and some of them are like solving cold case murders from back in the day. Like what was the one? The Golden State Killer, the one Patton Oswalt's wife helped solve. That was solved through like a 23andMe thing. And like, can you imagine like doing the 23andMe to figure out which kind of white you are and then just destroying your family forevermore? That is so crushing to just go through and try to figure it out. It's harmless enough, and then you just find out that your grandfather was a horrible monster in the 1970s. That just, I mean, obviously it sucks, but that has just been cracking me up to get the results back and be like, Norwegian and Welsh, we knew that, and then my God, grandfather. I hope I didn't get his eyes. You know, it's crazy. 23andMe went bankrupt. They went bankrupt, and they went bankrupt because people weren't repeat customers. What does that even mean? How many tubes of spit do you need? It's like $150. You do that once. I don't know why they thought that would be profitable. It's almost like they knew it wouldn't be profitable, and they just wanted a bunch of our DNA. So, and that's what happened. And they just sold to a company called Regeneron. And yeah, wouldn't you know that they are like a biotech science company. So, and they've got about $300 million worth of DNA. So I'm sure that will only end well. And that's all I got to say about that. Now, I love the genealogy stuff. I love looking it up. Like Kimbrel. Do you know another Kimbrel? No. It's oddly enough kind of like a rare name in America, I guess.
It's also crazy that they've been here since before the country started.
They were over
Those are
here.
Wild people.
Yeah, they were some wild people, dude. They were over here.
Taking a chance on
just
a boat.
letting it rip on, I mean, whatever, like religion or persecution, whatever was going on over there, that they were just like, you know what? Let's hop on a wooden ship that I helped make and just span the Atlantic Ocean. It's a wonder anybody made it out here, dude. It's crazy to me that the United States doesn't stop in, like, Missouri. You know, the people just kept going. We were over here on the East Coast, and then they kept rolling and kept rolling and kept rolling. People are impressive. Yeah, dude, the Kimbrel name, man, it's it, like, comes from the United Kingdom and Welsh and Ireland and Northern Ireland and all that. I looked it up. It's like it originates from Buckinghamshire at either the Great or the Little Kimble. And I really don't know what that means, but it's funny to think about, like, some guy that kind of looks like me running around in the 1500s. Like, do you think he was funny? Do you think people could be funny back then? What's the funniest you could be in 1500? It's like everyone's just dying and none of the water's drinkable unless you boil it. Like, if you twisted your ankle, your whole family would die. Like, who was cracking wise back then? I don't know. Someone had to. You got to bring a little bit of levity to it. Man, speaking of bringing levity to it, I could do a whole podcast on this. Where are we with time?
17.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, and I say this, and it's not even like a bring down thing, you know, but we've talked about him a bunch on the podcast, and dude, Stubbs, Uncle Frank went to meet his maker, man. We went to meet, yeah, dude, he's up there riding a drop of rain, baby. Uncle Frank, man, it was a hell of an ordeal. A couple weekends ago, I headlined Go Bananas Comedy Club in Cincinnati, home club, one of my favorite places to be. Already was going to be a deeply emotional weekend with people that I haven't seen forever, and, you know, pride and pressure and all this. And I'm driving up from Nashville to Cincinnati, and I stop in Lexington on Thursday, and Uncle Frank, who was living with my mom and dad, was sitting there, and you could pretty much tell that it was coming, you know, pretty close, and drove up to Cincinnati, did a show, drove back down Friday to Uncle Frank, said what I had to say, and then drove back up to Cincinnati, did two headline shows, like 2 hours, rock on, completely compromised. And I got off stage on the Late Show, hucked some T-shirts, and looked down at my phone, said my mom was calling, and I was like, well, dang. It's wild, dude. Uncle Frank died while I was on stage doing a Friday Night Late Show. Last time I did a Friday Night Late Show at Go Bananas, Uncle Frank was there. He literally came up, and that was a couple Marches ago, and he was much healthier. But I've been getting a kick out of it. Uncle Frank went out on a Friday night, and because of when he died in relation to the last Monday of the month, the anniversary of his death will always come with a 3-day weekend, which just is awesome. Like, that week will be a 3-day weekend week, and yeah, man, he kicked it. He died in my old bedroom, the bedroom that my brother and I shared, and then it later became my brother's bedroom. So it's Steven's room, but he died in that room, and all of his kids and all of his sisters were in bed with him, and that's about all you could wish for. His sisters cleaned him up, put him in his finest Rolling Stones shirt, and called up the crew, called up the body Uber, and they came and grabbed him, man. And they said that they were just blaring Rolling Stones on the stereo when the guys came to pick him up, and it was like like 10 o'clock.
I thought you were saying the crew was blaring.
No, no,
okay.
no. That'd be so crazy if they just showed up like a party. No, my mom and aunts and his kids, my cousins, they were just banging Rolling Stones, and it was a party. I mean, the last 3 days of Frank's life was a party. That's all that's all that you can say. A somber party, but a party. I mean, the door was open, all his kids, all his sisters, all his friends in and out the door. I was in there. My brother was there. Yeah, that's the only way that you can describe it. A rager. I took the trash out from my parents before I left on Friday, and I opened up the recyclables. Dude, I'm not kidding. 150 beer cans. Looked like a football tailgate. Yeah, young Stubbs, man. Frankie Stubbs went out on a Friday night like he has a million times before. And yeah, I mean, was very much in a liminal state. I already said liminal because I was on the it was 2 weekends in a row. What are you geeking at, Dad?
How long have you been sitting on that one?
Which, oh yeah,
Out on a
Friday night like he has a million times before. Oh, dude, I pitched that to my mom for the obituary, dude. We're sitting there. My mom, I mean, Frank's the writer of the family. So we're workshopping the obituary, and we definitely are going to throw that bit in there. Yeah, it's fire. Frank I texted that to the siblings on, I said he went out on a Friday night like he has a million times before. Come on. With a party downstairs, with literally a party happening downstairs, man. Yeah, that's a heavy one. His, one of my favorite people on earth, his daughter, Josie, the baby of the entire family, who is now like 20. It's crazy. Josie was there, and I got to spend some time with her on Friday when I went back down, and she went over to his place and was cleaning some stuff out and found this briefcase, and she opened it up, and there was like a full ounce of, smokable herb. And Josie brought it over, and she's a cool little chick, man. She's got, whatever, hairy armpits, and she's a chef, and she's cool as shit. It's not like she didn't clutch her pearls when she saw this weed, She smoked a blunt with her dad like the week before. But she walked up with just like a fat sack of kush, and she was like, "What should I do with this?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" I go, "That's your organic inheritance right there." And she really laughed, and we went out on the deck and took a couple one hits for Frank. And you know what you shouldn't do? Smoke weed that a stage 4 cancer deathbed patient smokes, because it was probably about 80% THC. I smoked it and I spiraled, dude. For the first time in a long time, I got high on the deathbed kush, and I was like, oh my God, do I have cancer? Do I have 24 hours to live right now? Yeah, it was wild, man. Being around it's crazy. Seeing your mom all sad is really wild, but they mourned him, and they're going through it. I've been talking. Shout out Aunt Kelly, by the way. Aiden, say hey to Aunt Kelly, dude.
Shout out Aunt Kelly.
Yeah, Aunt Kelly, man. She is a ardent listener to the Absolutely podcast. She told me that she listens to it while she does yard work.
We love her.
We love her. I think she listens to it while she sits on her deck and drinks Bud, but yard work it is, Kelly. Whatever you say, sister. Yeah, whatever you say, baby. Oh, yeah. So that's kind of where I am right now. I have the last 2 weeks have just been glorious and difficult and hard, but yes, you must rise to the occasion. You have to do it. You got to do it. Frank died, drove up, did 2 hours of comedy, baby. Ripped him.
I saw you do just a little bit talking about him on stage, and I was just like, wow, to have to do that.
Crazy. Yeah, I know. At Saturday Late Show, because that Saturday was weird. I woke up, and it was the first day ever that I lived in a world where Uncle Frank wasn't in it, And that's just weird. And I kind of drove around all day and would get out and walk around a park, or I'd find a little patch of grass and I'd get out and I'd take my shoes off and I'd ground and I'd put my hand and my feet to the earth and try to breathe. And then I was driving around and I was like, this is weird. I thought I was like having a panic attack. My heart was like, brrrr. And I go, what is going on? And then I remembered that I hadn't eaten in like 36 hours. I was just ripping. The human body is incredible. We are capable of so much more than we think. You know, we really are. We all kind of get lulled into some of the comforts of things, and lean into the comfort, baby. If you're here, feel good. You know, the rule can't just be if it feels good, do it. You can do that with just a little bit, just a nice layer of responsibility on that. But, you know, take care of yourself. But we're just way more capable of what we think we can do. There seems to be, you can make up a situation in your mind that you can dread, and you think, oh my God, if and when that happens, I will be leveled. What will I do? I won't be, and you just will. You just do it. The other option is not. And if you know, that's not an option. You know, it's not. I'm not trying to get all Tony Robbins on your ass right now, but I'm pretty proud of myself for the last couple weeks. A lot has been going down. And some stuff that I can't even talk about on the pod yet has been going down, you know, because that ain't my business to put out there, son. But it is what I've been living. And this is a huge outlet for me. I look forward to it. I freak out all the way up until the last second, until Aiden goes, all right, clap and we can do it. I'm pretty much right up until Aiden says, clap and we can do it. I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? Loose outline. I mean, people ask me all the time. It's like what the process is. And I try. I don't just come out here and try to give you some bullshit. But I do try, but I've been spread pretty thin lately, and I've been looking forward to do this just because it's another one of those things that I didn't know if I was going to be able to pull off, and gosh dang it, look at what we've done. We've pulled it off. Another episode. I think it's good. I've enjoyed doing it. I hope that your ears like listening to it or your eyeballs like taking it in. But yeah, man, that's what we're doing right now. Aiden and I were having a little business meeting before we recorded this, John. The Patreon is coming. The Patreon is coming sooner rather than later. We've got like 3 or 4 episodes in the can right now, and we're kind of debating on, maybe just throwing a couple of those on Patreon. Patreon will include guests. Patreon will include a lot of stuff.
We can be interactive. It'll be all kinds
Absolutely. We want to talk to you guys. I kind of just alluded to it. One of the challenges of this podcast is trying to keep the ball in the air for a half hour with just talking about stuff that you guys want to hear me talk about, you know? So that Patreon will be fun. You can give us some input. You can ask me a question. You can ask Aiden a question. Give me a prompt. Whatever, man. We're here for it. And, Aiden is investing in himself. He's buying a bunch of cameras and all the equipment and shit. And we can go out into the world and make cool stuff. Brogan is allegedly coming down the 4th of July weekend, and I think we're going to try to get around to golf in with him. The legend of Brogan grows. Yep. I just can't help but be excited about this, and appreciate you guys a lot, and we'll talk to you next time. See you later, baby.
See you later.
Had to get a sip in there at the end.